Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Tashin Stallings from Delta Beta Omega Alumni Chapter of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated. I want to thank everybody for joining us this evening for our virtual cooking series. Today, we have our featured chef, Larry Owens. He has his own YouTube channel under the name of What is Larry Cooking Now? So we want to thank you all for joining us. Want to give a chance for Larry to introduce himself. And then he also has some special guests with him. So we want to allow him to introduce his special guest as well.
I was hoping to just have a quiet night shift.
Larry, you're ready.
Okay, ready? All right, how's everybody doing? I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. DBO featuring me as a chef. I don't know why they're calling me that, but I do a little something. So tonight, I do have an audience with me. So I have my lovely fiance with me. Yeah, give me the camera. I'll show. I'll show. I got my lovely fiance there with me. Say hello.
Hi.
And then I got Sherman Braxton and his lovely wife.
Hello.
And then I have my neighbor, Heather. Yes. All right. So I wanted to come with an audience that actually taste my food because this is all going to be made with love. You might see me sweating a little bit in here, but if anybody knows me, man, they know I love to cook. I'm not professionally trained. I'm just fat, and I like to eat. Stop laughing; it's not funny. So what we're going to be making tonight is we're going to be making cacio e pepe, which translates into cheese and pepper. It's from Rome. And then I'm going to also be doing a basil shrimp skewers as well. And then just on the side of asparagus as well with onions. Very simple, very basic. All in all, I guess it probably takes about a half an hour. But there's a lot of marinating and so forth that has to be done ahead of time. So we're going to be transversing between my kitchen and then also my grill as well, which is heating up outside right now. It's nothing like grilled vegetables. So really get that char on the end, so forth, get the smell. I'm doing a gas, I'm not doing lump charcoal. So the taste is going to be a little bit different than when you're doing from gas as opposed to actual lump charcoal. But the cacio e pepe, I think you're really going to like it. Okay, so right now I have my water on the boil right now on the stove. The one thing too is I have done pasta fresh, doing it spaghetti and or fettuccine for cacio e pepe. Cacio e pepe typically is spaghetti. So I'm just basically doing something that everybody's going to be able to do. I happen to be blessed to have a KitchenAid, so it makes it easy for me to go ahead and make nest beds in terms of pasta. But in this case, I'm using barilla spaghetti, and I'm going to do an al dente. Al dente is anywhere approximately between 10 to 11 minutes, so it still has that firmness to taste. And then I'm having the starchy water that's from the pasta that I'm going to be adding to the skillet. But before then, I have whole black peppercorn that I'm actually grinding up in a mopete, which is just like a mortar or a pist, so to speak. So I'm going to show you how I do that. I've actually grinded some, and man, when you grind it and that aroma and that fragrance, it's just whoop, it just pops. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and get my asparagus on the grill. Ziploc bags are your best friend cooking. They are your best friend. So what I'm going to say about the asparagus first, because I kind of start like I'm always thinking logically in terms of how you cook. You got to think, what do you want to pull off? Usually I'm jumping in between. I don't have my pedometer on me, but usually I'm like at like 5,000 plus steps just between this kitchen right here and the grill. But going to the asparagus, and actually my lady taught me this, my fiance, about asparagus. Now, I just have one stalk here, just for example, because I had to, of course, marinate this, and I'll tell you what I've marinated in a minute. But it has a natural snap. So right here is what's called like the woodsy area. That's literally what they call it. And so you can also just cut it, but you can also just naturally snap it, just like this. That's it. And the reason why that's real special in terms of this that I don't know about anybody else. I want to eat asparagus the next day, and it's chewy and it's stringy.
Mhm.
The reason why it's chewy and it's stringy because you didn't snap it at its natural point. So that's just like a little tip that I learned, and I'm always still learning stuff and reading stuff. I don't know everything, but that's my little tip for you about asparagus. Meantime, I drizzled this with olive oil. And if you guys already had the recipes ahead of time, and feel free with the recipes to do a derivative of it or anything else that you want to do. In this one, I have sweet yellow onions. I also have olive oil, extra virgin. I had some black truffle I was going to put on it, but not everybody likes truffle, and truffle is hella expensive. So I just did olive oil on this. I also use Montreal seasoning, steak seasoning. For some reason, I don't know, it makes it taste like it's like Asian food almost, like it's really good. Always basic though, I always use kosher salt and coarse black pepper, right? Which the peppercorn, when I put it down with the moquette, it does the same thing. It's the same consistency that I'm doing. So it's the same thing that I created here, it's right here. That's always basic with anything that I do. And then I also use, which I swear by, Son of Italy, Italian spice mix. You can't find this everywhere. Locally, I find it in a Giant.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I use on here as well. Olive oil, and then I just go ahead and just get in the bag, do a little of this, do a little of that, shake it around, throw it on the counter, put it in the fridge for like at least a half an hour. It's not something that you need to overnight, right? I've also used zesty or robust Italian dressing, which really wakes up the flavor. It has lemon, it has vinegar. It really breaks down that taste and really gives you the taste that you want as well. So that's another thing that you can use too as an alternative. When you use that, you don't need all the rest of the seasonings. It's going to be incredibly too seasoned. Might need a little pepper on the end, but you can always add that on afterwards. Okay, so that's just a little bit of advice with that. Also, I'm going to put on the grill as well. So I'm going to put these asparagus on there first because they take a little bit to be rendered down, but I still want them al dente. So I don't want it to be, I grew up on soggy vegetables. Probably the reason why I don't like vegetables, right? You know, we all do it within the confines of what we know, right? So our parents used to give us like soggy ass vegetables, right? Me, I'm just like, okay, it's something different, right? And the seasonings, think about it, the seasonings like, they were different than they are right now. You know what I mean? So I'm always like trying to get creative out the box. I mean, what do we watch all day? I watch Food Network and CNN. And BBC. So I'm like news or food. That's all I watch all day. Even my son comes over and he wants to watch YouTube. He's like, I just put the Food Network on. True story. So I'm also going to go ahead and do my shrimp as well. This is my basil, not basil pesto, but just basil shrimp that I'm going to do as well. I'm going to explain this as well because I'm rolling. I know I have a little limited time, but I have a little bit of time. So I'm going to use all the time I can because I want to be explicit in terms of what I do. So the first time I did the shrimp, I was like, okay, let me get a food processor, let me get some pine nuts, let me get some oil, what else? Some fresh basil, right? Let me chop that up and so forth. I mean, we have what do we have? We have the, we don't have a food processor, but we have the Vitamix, but it was just like too big, right? So I was just like, okay, maybe we can get something small or get a contraption. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. It's costly. There are always alternatives that you can do, right? So was in a supermarket. I'm always looking around for stuff. I happened to see basil stir and paste, right? You smell it. It smells just like the paste, basil. That's it. I put that in there, which is here. I put a little bit of Old Bay, because I'm from Maryland and Old Bay must be in everything that is shrimp. I also use another thing. If you want to go ahead and, let's say you don't want to use the basic kosher salt and the coarse black pepper, but you want to do something that has the garlic and everything. Well, there's a brand right here called Kinder's, which has everything for you. It has the salt, the black pepper, the garlic, everything. And then I put a little bit of Italian seasoning in there as well, maybe basil, oregano. And then I also have a Cuisinart, which is a sweet paprika seafood. So that gives you a paprika, which tastes really good on seafood. And then Trader Joe's seasonings are ridiculous. I use a smoked paprika as well. And I know everybody's like, that's a lot of seasoning that he put on there. Well, I'm sprinkling it on moderately. I really can't give you portions per se. That's the one thing about me. I don't bake, I cook. But I can tell you in terms of like just a pinch here, a pinch there, smelling and so forth. You just have to know how to maneuver around it. Usually, I guess if I could tell anybody who's not really good at it, do anything a quarter or less in terms of a teaspoon, and then just see what the taste is, hop it up from there. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. You're gonna see me skewer this down. And so let's begin the skewers right now at this point, okay? So the skewers, I'm using metal skewers right here, but you can use wooden skewers. If you use wooden skewers, please, please, please soak them, like at least for a few hours, okay? Before you actually put them on the grill, because they will burn up. So make sure you do that. Let's see, okay, make life easier on yourself. Also, as I said too, my fashion apparel, this is Ted Wheat on the apron here, and then Raven Fresh is the Iota t-shirt right here. So always representing Iota Phi. Trying to pump any of the brothers' businesses that I can. All right, once again, my water is boiling pretty good right now. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit. So that's gonna be one of the last things I'm gonna do. But just the skewer, usually everything right here, I mean, these are beautiful right here. Look at this, this is beautiful.
Now, what kind of shrimp are you using?
These are 21 to 25 count shrimp. So it's a really good size to this. I'm doing either 3 on a skewer or 4 on a skewer, okay? And basically you just wanted the tail is on. There's a whole bunch of debate about tail on shrimp in terms of whether the taste is better with the tail on. A lot of times it's just aesthetics. A lot of times the restaurants just don't want to pull the tails off. I know for me, when I get shrimp, I'm like, I hate the fact that the tail is on. Like it irritates me. But because now I got to go ahead with my hand and take the tails off before I eat my pasta. But in any case, I'm going to moderate it between 3 and 4, just like this.
And then what type of shrimp are you using now?
Just lay them down. So that's 4. That's 3 right there. And it's pretty easy. Oh, I'm doing that backwards. And just bring it through. The metal skewers don't really, they're pretty moderate in terms of price. You can get them right off of Amazon. And they work well on the grill. My grill is going to be heated at anywhere between about 400 to 450. I also have grill mats that I'm using on mine. And just so that there's no sticking to the grill. It still gives me the grill marks and so forth on the copper mat. But I don't have to worry about any of the shrimp falling through. Shrimp cost too much damn money. And I don't want them falling through down there, because I'll be tempted to go down there and get it, because that's what I do. But that's a whole nother story. So just bringing it through, just threading it through right there at the bottom of the tail, bringing it through. And here's the thing too, when you're doing the shrimp, and you want the color, of course, to be opaque. Okay, so meaning you want just that slight pink. There's nothing worse than chewy shrimp from the grill. You don't want that. But you also, if you look at this, you don't want the tail to curl up like this when you're cooking. If it's like that, it's been on there way too long. It's about 3 or 4 minutes on each side at 400 degrees off of a gas grill. A charcoal one, you might have to really watch it. If I put it on my charcoal one, I have to literally sit there and watch and stand over it. And the same thing goes with lobster and everything else like that. Even if you were to smoke a lobster at like 350 degrees on a grill, it's going to be only for like 25 minutes. Because you just want it to, still want that taste, but you don't want it to be chewy. This is time consuming. Also, in between, you could also get like peppers, onions, put it on there as well. I tried the tomatoes. Tomatoes didn't work out too well for me because they just like kind of fell through the grates, and the tomatoes, they burst. So it didn't work too well for me, but I mean, that might have been like a timing issue. I'm not sure. So as you see, the smell. Okay, yeah, so the smell is just, so I actually minced up garlic with this. So I had garlic cloves, anywhere to 4 to 6 with this particular count. And man, the smell is just, you smell the basil, you smell you guys can smell it across there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when you bring this off the grill, and I don't even talk about, like when I put this out there, my neighbors are always like, all right, what's Larry cooking now? Right, literally. That's how I got the title for my YouTube page, which check me out. What's Larry cooking now? I got maybe like 4 videos on there. I need to be a little bit more consistent. My son gets on me all the time about it. But yeah, man, this is really good. It's already seasoned, everything. Like it's got the olive oil. The only thing I'm gonna do is lay this on that mat for like a second, and that's it. And then I'm gonna go out there and I'll be ready to plate them. Got maybe one more, and then when you get down to like, you got like 3 on the end, like you can just go back and add another one. But you're gonna find, like, just even off that bag. When I first got the bag, I was like, you know what? I said, this is not gonna be enough shrimp. Because like, number one, I'm greedy, and I know my family greedy, so I was just like, this ain't gonna be enough. But it is. And if you think about it, just like with shrimp, salmon, anything, you know, when you eat it, it's very hearty in terms of the meat. So just keep on skewering them through. Let's see where we got a 3. I might put a 5 on there. Really bring it down. But the whole thing is to get it in there so that it doesn't fall off. And then we're about to get ready to head outside on the deck right now.
Okay,
All right.
Larry, can you hear me, Larry?
So this is the end result. This is what you have. Okay. All right. I'll bring a little bit of them. Oh my God, the smell is ridiculous. That fresh garlic that's on there. When I place this on the mat, it's done. All right, bear in mind too, I have my asparagus as well that I'm gonna put on. All right, our water's still going. I'll bring my temperature up on there in a minute because it's already at the boiling point. The whole thing too about when you're doing pasta, you always want to go ahead and bring your water to a boil, then add salt. I used to make the mistake of adding the salt while the pasta was in there. So just salt in general, when you're adding it to something, that's what the taste is going to be on your tongue. In terms of putting the salt in the water, it helps to separate the noodles as well. And it also adds the flavor if that's necessary as well. But it's when you add it ahead of time. So you get it to a raging boil, then you add the salt, and you get to another raging boil. Then you add the noodles in. Then you go ahead and time it to 10 to 11 minutes. Pull it out if you're doing al dente. If you're not doing al dente, you want it to be a little bit more tender, then that's anywhere between 13 to 15 minutes, depending on whether you're doing thin pasta, thick pasta, fettuccine, rigatoni, whatever the case may be. Okay. All right. So let's go out to the grill, shall we? You gonna follow me? Hey, I can come out. Get my tongs. Hold on. All right, so we got the grill set up here. Right now, I didn't have the lid down, but I'm doing pretty good. I have a pan that I use. Got this from Costco. It does the trick for me. Just set that on there. Copper mats I got from Amazon. They're real good. And the thing that I like about these copper mats is that no matter what, I'll always get the grill marks that I require on my food and so forth. Probably in the next couple of days, I'm gonna end up doing like lamb. So I don't want that to fall through and so forth, but I still want the grill marks. And I also have a oven mitt and so forth to make sure I don't burn my hands. Okay, so safety first. So like I said, I got my marinade here. Got my heat. I could have had it on a little bit longer. It's not a big deal. Throw it on there. Yeah, hear that sizzle? Look at that. I mean, already, just the smell coming off there is ridiculous. Bananas. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw the skewers on there. And the good thing about it, because it already has olive oil in there and so forth, you don't got to add any olive oil in here. And also you don't want any flare-ups on here as well. You get flare-up, you will stand back, trust me.
Some people consider that fun part.
All right, well, look, I got a firefighter here with me. He's like, flare up? Okay, that's not a big deal. Like me, I would jump back and push this whole damn thing off this deck. Oh my God, and the smell that's coming off of here is just ridiculous. So we're just gonna go ahead and close this down, let it do its thing. I'll be back out here in a minute. And switch those, I'll switch these over right here, and then I'm just gonna keep on tossing these at this point until I get that al dente firmness, a little bit of the burnt chard on the ends right here, okay? But trying to spread those onions around, and yeah, I'm putting my hand in it because I'm used to doing it, so. But the smell coming off of here, oh my God, it's ridiculous. And with that Italian Robusto or the zesty Italian dressing, the smell will be even more off the hook. So let's get in here, look at our pasta. All right. All right, so we're back in here with the pasta. I'm ready to crank my water up. And understand this is 3 portions here. We have the asparagus and so forth that's outside. We have the shrimp that's going outside. And then we have the cacio e pepe, okay? So.
We're gonna take a second. I think there may be a couple.
Oh, is it a couple questions?
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to know what type of shrimp were you using?
Oh, so this was shrimp that I got 21, 25 counts that had the tails on at Costco.
Okay.
So literally it was like perfect for me because it had just the tails on. In other cases, if you have the shells on, you're gonna have to bend it at the bottom and cut it and so forth. Or you don't have to have the tail on at the end. It depends on what you want to do and how big you want the shrimp to be. That's pretty much up to you.
All right. Now, in terms of using the grill, if it's charcoal, like how long do you want to wait before you put anything on?
So you want to get that temperature down below 400. You don't want it to be anywhere over 400. I have a big green egg. That's like sometimes gets up to 500, 600. If you do that, your time is really going to be even more. It's going to be smaller, but you get that taste that you want. You can add wood and mesquite. And usually when I grill on a big green egg or any charcoal grill, I use pecan wood because it's just a universal wood that you can use. But you might want apple taste, you might want cherry, whatever the case may be.
Okay, great.
Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do now, any more questions?
So far, no.
Okay, cool. I do want to backtrack too and tell everybody how I was actually marinating the shrimp. Okay, so basically I have some shrimp here that I still have to skew. I take the basil. I think I described it, but I didn't actually show you. And just basically put the paste in there. Hopefully everybody can see that. And then I take some olive oil. And this is for later. Like I said, always basic, salt, pepper. Smoked paprika. A little bit of the sweet. A little bit of the Italian seasoning. Oh, and here goes a tip too. And I had to learn this the hard way. As you see, I just mixed that up. Now this is not ready for the grill. It will be in an hour and I'll throw it on it, but this is probably after the video. Also, I'll add to this a little bit of the minced up garlic that I already did as well. Oh my God, and the smell just alone.
Could you substitute, if you don't like fresh garlic, could you substitute?
Yes, yeah, you don't have to do the fresh garlic. So what I did is that's a good question. I was always rocking just with like minced garlic and oil. But like just now as recent, I've just been getting like, I got like a big, huge bag from Costco and I don't mind mincing it. It is time consuming. You don't have to do it. You can certainly get minced garlic. And I mean, just smell that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Ready to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a question.
Yes.
Yes. You have a gas grill, but does your gas grill tell you what the temperature of the grill is before you start cooking, or does it not?
No, it does. It tells me it's about. It gets. I get it to about 400. So I can control that by the dials. As a matter of fact, I need to go out there and check that shrimp right now because it's been about 3 or 4 minutes. But yeah, I can see that on my I have a Weber gas grill. Okay. So let's check these shrimp out, as a matter of fact, because I'm doing a lot of running. So yeah, Sherman's on the run. You guys can chill. You guys can chill in there. See, this is what you're doing. You're going back and forth. I need to go. Oh yeah. See? That's what I'm talking about. See?
Yeah,
Already. Look at that.
that's the look we're looking for.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
what you want right there. So now I'm just going to turn these, and I'm going to leave out again because I want to be good on both sides. As you see, I have my mitt on, and these, I mean, they look succulent already. I could just pretty much pull them off if I wanted to, but I just want to get a little bit on both sides. As you see, those tails, they aren't quite meeting yet. I got a little bit burnt in. And then looking at my asparagus.
And then are you looking for a particular texture with asparagus?
Yes, I want al dente, but I want this burnt. So see this a little bit? It's like a little bit burnt. I want that as well. Like already, I could probably give Sherman a piece of this right now. He'd be like, damn, it's good already, take it off. But what I want is I want it to be firm, but I still want it to have that snap as well. But I also want it to be that if you reheat it the next day, it doesn't taste terrible. That's the problem. We overcook our food. We take the vitamin and the nutritionals away with vegetables. So we don't want to do that. So this is fine. I'm going to go back in there. I'm going to show you some of the stuff I'm going to do.
So
with the,
that's the dial as far as the temperature that we was talking about earlier.
yeah.
So
So if you look at right now, it's down because I had the lid open. But this is going to creep back up. Before I pulled it off, it was at 400. So I had exactly what I want to. And you look at my dials, I'm turning my dials down now too, as well. So I had them cranked all the way up. And this is a 3 burner. So I got 3 different sections that I'm doing on this.
okay.
All right, so let's go back inside. All right, cool. All right. All right, so when it comes to, thank you, Sherman. When it comes to the cacio e pepe, okay. So what I would say is this: it depends on what type of cheese that you want. Romano comes from cow's milk. Pecorino comes from sheep. So it depends on. So what I have is a Pecorino Romano. Okay. So it's a little bit of a mixture of both in terms of cow and sheep milk. They do have some that is just Pecorino, and this actually calls for just Pecorino. One is aged differently. So a Romano is aged over 2 years. A Pecorino is aged over probably like 5 to 8 months, 5 to 8, 9 months. This one, since it's a combination, has been aged over about 12 months. Okay. So I already have some already graded. I'm going to show you how I actually go through the grading as well. And what I find is that it's good when you're grading like this to have the block a little hard. There's a lot of speculation in terms of do you grade and it's been at room temperature. It's hard to grade something when it's at room temperature. It's going to be a lot soft. So you want it to be kind of hard, okay? And I'm going to do just a little bit of this. Then I'm going to go back out because actually my skewers are going to be done. And so is my asparagus. And I can really get down on this cacio e pepe. But I just want to show you a little bit of what I do in terms of grading. And it's nothing more than just coming across it. And it is time consuming. very arduous, but trust me, it's worth it. And this pecorino has much of a tangier taste, whereas Romano has much more of a nuttier, salty taste because it's aged over 2 years. This one's a little bit more tangy. It's going to give that zing to the cacio e pepe that you really need. And what did I tell you? What did I tell you about my water, right? So my water is boiling right now, right? Just I got to multitask, right? I'm at a raging boil right now. This is what's considered God, this is probably like an 8-quart. So if you're doing like a box of spaghetti, you actually want anywhere between 4 to 6 quarts of water. This has about 5, okay? At this point, you're doing per pound of spaghetti about 1.5 tablespoons of salt. But I eyeball it. I just know what to do. So that's about it.
He's a professional
Okay.
without want the professional title.
But no, I eyeball it because I just been in the kitchen but what it's doing is it's adding that flavor to the pasta. When I do my own pasta, it really adds it too. But that's a whole nother beast. That'll be another segment that I do. Okay. So as you see, I got a lot of, and I always want to save a little bit at the end because I like to serve it on your plate. Like come over your plate and do this. I know I like it when I go out to restaurants. I want it here too in my own house. And you'll see what I'm gonna do with this cheese, which is something really special.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't forget the shrimp and the asparagus.
Yes, I'm going outside right now. Thank you, Tasha. All right, come on with me. This is fun. See, this is what I do. All right. Look at that. We are done. We are ready to rock and roll. All right, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful.
Now, will you use any type of garnish, like a thyme or rosemary or anything?
Oh, watch what I do.
Okay.
Because I love garnishments, and I'm glad you brought that up. Because I always finish it up with something at the end. That's it. I mean, this is how quick this is. We're going to go ahead and bring this in. I'm going to show you the rest. All right, so asparagus is done. And I'm glad you asked about, but Tashin, did you ask me that question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, exactly. I love it, because I'm all about presentation. And luckily, because I'm not the fashion designer around here, my fiance has gotten me stuff because I was putting stuff on paper plates and taking a picture and putting it on Facebook. She's like, "What are you doing? You will not embarrass me." I'm like, "What's wrong? Can I eat it?" She like, "Larry, like I don't."
That's a solo.
Yeah, it's a solo. You know how much solo plates cost? She like, "You are terrible." So get that onions on there. Look at that. You want to sneak over there? You go. Yeah. And usually with the asparagus, here goes the thing. Whenever I garnish a plate, you got to have greenery over it, right? So I always do it with that. But then what I'll do with, I'm going to just place this right here, is with the shrimp. I got a few more, but I have at least something in. Okay, so also when you're dealing with stuff and you're moving fast like I'm doing right now, you got to remember not to touch the metal skewers, but they're probably still hot. But with this, I have some parsley flakes. So just for aesthetics, for giggles, I'll throw it on there like that.
See, now you're showing off.
Yeah. Love I five, that's what I do. All right, and so I get this. Yeah, that's beautiful right there. It's good business. Look at that. And this pasta will be done in no time, so everything's still gonna be relatively hot. That's the thing too about timing, right? So I'll get that.
Is your pasta in the water?
Ooh, the lemon juice.
Yeah. Now the lemon with seafood, it's just the business. It's just gonna give it that extra taste. And you can use lime too. I use a lot of lime when I do it with Mexican dishes though, however. This is gonna just set this off. Also the squeezer, I didn't have one of these. Look, literally I have a squeezer in my hand. She's like, why don't you have a squeezer? I was just like, what is it called? I don't even know what that is. Yeah.
But so still rocks.
Yeah, she kind of upgraded me a little bit. So there we go. A little lemon on the end. Look at that. I'm sorry, Sherman. Sherman's wife was like, you stepped your game up too. He's like, how did I get involved in this?
Make a good bad, brother. Make a good bad.
And there we go. All right. So that's it. That's that portion of the dish. All right.
Now, Sherman, tell us what you're smelling right now, Sherman.
Right now, I'm smelling that lemon. That lemon right now on top of that seasoning that he already put on top of that shrimp. So I can't wait to dig in, man. But it's this kitchen is real flavorful right now. Without a doubt.
All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is the noodles, okay? Like I said, I got some thick spaghetti right here. I got enough spaghetti. I'm gonna go ahead, it's gluten-free. I mean, whatever you wanna do. You can do wheat, whatever the case may be. My salt is already in the water right now. Like I said, don't put the salt on when the pasta's in. You don't need no oil. I was doing all that crazy shit. You don't gotta do any of that, okay? And it's very shallow right now. I'm gonna take my gloves off.
Yeah, you want the pasta to cook fast, so you might want to hold on if you're trying to do it fast.
Huh?
You want to try to do it fast, maybe not put so much in there right now.
Well, yeah, but I'm just a little bit more.
Okay.
Now, do you have a particular preference in terms of noodles that you use or brand?
Yeah, I like Barilla myself. And I'm about to put my timer on. We're gonna do about 10 minutes. And we'll just talk and rap. But I like Barilla noodles. They just, I mean, I've done like the store-bought ones, of course, because especially when I was back in college, that's all I could afford. And if I had too much spaghetti sauce, I was putting that shit on oodles and noodles. I'm gonna be real with you. I know everybody laughing, but hey, everybody been there. Everybody been college students.
Yep.
Yeah, you get that oodles and noodles, and then on top of that, look, hold on, I put cheese on it too. Terrible. What is Larry eating?
But you gotta doctor it up for your taste.
Hey, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And then look, I put butter in it. It's terrible. It's just like But the thing about doing this is it's just getting it down to al dente, because what's gonna happen, like I said before, is that when I put the pasta water in the skillet, the first thing I'm gonna do is, and while that's happening, I can actually show you guys how I use the moquette. So this is actually made out of, it's made from lava, right? This is lava rock. Yeah, lava rock. So this is the same stuff you get when you go to a lot of Mexican restaurants, Uncle Julio's, places like that. And the good thing about this, you can serve cold stuff as well as hot stuff as well. You can literally put this over a flame, and it keeps the heat very well. But what I do, and like I said, you could also just get coarse ground black pepper as well. I get this from Kirkland's, which is from Costco, but you can also go ahead and get the actual whole black peppercorn as well. And it was funny because I actually was just going to do today just the coarse black pepper, and I was like, look at that. Maybe this will work instead. And the taste, I mean, not the taste, I'm sorry, but the smell is going to be ridiculous, right? So you just get it in here, and it's like what we did from the very beginning of time. It's some water and a pit. And and you're just grinding. And as you're doing this, the smell is just awakening. This has a lot of weight to it. They do have smaller ones. This one's pretty big. You're just kind of twisting it around, but it's giving you more of the authentic coarse black pepper taste that you want. Smell this.
Ooh, that's fresh. That's yeah. Oh yeah.
Smell the difference?
Yeah, I smell it.
Yeah. It just gives you a different taste. Like I said, doing that, doing the garlic and so forth, it's a little bit more time consuming. Look at that. Same consistency as it is in here, but you know you put some work in it, put some time in it. You put your back in there a little bit. All right, we'll just set this to the side. Check my noodles. It's important too to go back in and check your noodles, stir them up, and so forth. And literally with the cacio e pepe, it's a matter of just pulling this off. And then when you pull this off, you're putting the cheese in. But what I'm going to do, the important thing is using your starch water with this. So the starch water, what it does is it bolsters up the noodles. It gives it a little bit more consistency. So that's the reason why you want it. And that's the importance of starch water. I had no idea about starch water. It's just something I recently have discovered in terms of researching. And now I do it all the time, especially when I make my own noodles as well. So.
Well, while you're waiting for that, can you pour us some wine?
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm pouring wine now. So another thing about this as well. So I could have done like a Chardonnay or a Pinot Grigio. No, go ahead, Sean, you got it. Yeah, there you go. I could have done like a Pinot Chardonnay or something like that because it's seafood. So typically with seafood, you don't want to do anything red. You usually do something white. But I know too, some people want a little bit of sweetness as well. So I do like a Riesling. For me, it's sweet, not too bland. I would have did like a Pinot. You know what I mean? But hey, to each his own. So we're gonna go ahead and toast up while we're on here because hey, we having fun, right?
All right. Now, do you have any brothers and sisters, Larry?
Nope.
No, I actually have one sister. A lot of brothers don't know that. She's a half sister, but she's my sister. So yes. Okay.
And so in your household, I guess growing up, what was the cooking dynamics in terms of did your sister teach you, your mom teach you, your dad teach you? Like where?
So I'm glad you asked that. I'm sorry. I'm playing dual role with stress. My mom basically taught me, but here goes the funny. My great grandmother actually cooked for Roosevelt. She cooked in the White House. So I must get it honest some type of way. My father could cook, but he wasn't so good at breakfast. Breakfast was like runny eggs, onions, and mustard.
Oh.
My father also is a Marine, so it was, if he made it, you eat it. That's it. He wasn't the best cook in the world. Like I said, it was just ingredients and so forth. I would actually honestly say, God rest my mom's soul, I'm a better cook than she is, but I also have a lot more ingredients at hand right now. Like times are different. And it wasn't, also it was like, you know, she's working like a couple of jobs. So it was, a lot of times we got some good stuff here and there, but a lot of times it was due to convenience, time, you know, effort, everything else like that. But I think the first time that I actually got in the kitchen, oh, these noodles are coming out real good. The first time that I got in the kitchen was for my junior prom. And I made dinner for my junior prom date. And it took all day for me to learn how to cook everything and, you know, do everything. But it turned out pretty well. My date was pleasantly surprised, and I was pleasantly surprised too. And ever since then, I've always cooked in one way, shape, or form or fashion. I think I'm only as recent, I've gotten a little bit more passionate about doing stuff and doing some new things. So that's kind of where it started.
Now, I also want to highlight that you also have another special talent. Now, we all know that sometimes, you know, when preparing a nice meal, you want to have some music to go along with it.
Yes.
So for those who don't know, Larry is a very accomplished saxophone musician. So can you give us a little bit of background about those talents?
Absolutely. That's it. I got 2 minutes because there ain't that much to say. I'm joking, but my stage name I go by is Saxlo. And that's basically, I play saxophones. My initials Larry Owens, so that's how I got that. I actually got that name from one of my coworkers. She might be on here right now, Janet Day Brown. She would just call me Saxlo, and that's when I was working for the Legal Aid Bureau at the time, in the abuse unit and for children. She was like, "Okay, you play saxophone. Your name is Larry. I call you Saxlo." So I got it tatted to my arm, everything. So that's always been my stage name. I came out with a CD fully in 2013. And that was like based off of people just like daring me to do it. Like I was just like, they were like, "You got a CD out?" I was like, "For what? Like, what are you talking about?" My first gig performance, I probably cheated myself when they asked me. It was like a 3-hour engagement. I was like, "Okay, I'll do it for $50." and the lady was like, she came back to me. She was like, "Really?" She was like, "Okay, I'm winning, but are you sure? You want to think about this?" And I was like, "Whoa, what's wrong? $50 should be enough." Like, she was like, "Even if you don't have any talent, you're worth more than $50." Like, damn, like it was crazy, man. But just been gigging ever since then. I've been playing since I was 9 years old. I played at Sherman's wedding. Yeah, man, I do engagements and so forth. I'm with no particular band. Have a single that's going to be coming out within the next month. I'm proclaiming it. Going to be produced by Randall Walker, R.L. Walker, who's got like 7 CDs out already, but he's my mentor. He's an Iota. So yeah, man, just I do that on the side and so forth. I also draw. I guess a little bit of a Renaissance man. I play lacrosse. What else? I like moonlit walks.
Ladies.
Yeah, man.
And then can we find? Do you have a website where your music can be purchased and listened to?
So
just go to
actually,
Spotify?
the website has gone down. So, but you can follow me on it's Larry Saxlo on Instagram, Larry Saxlo, and I am open for bookings, so forth and so on. So the website, I'm still trying to get back up and running. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
And then is any of your music on any streaming platforms? Like,
yeah, as a matter of fact, it is. If you pull up Saxlo, just Google Saxlo, you'll see me on Spotify. And what I did is I came out with a single. It was "Sailing" by Christopher Cross. Mm-hmm. That was the first single that I came out with. So that's on the Spotify platform. If you have Spotify, you don't have to pay anything for it. So, but I'm
Here you go, shortchanging yourself again.
No, I'm just saying. No, because I mean, I play on different platforms, and in Europe, I'm played all over the place. Probably more so here than in America, but I don't know. All right, so right now my noodles are good, man. I'm gonna do this right over this. Look at that. Okay, maybe I should do it over the sink.
In the sink.
Okay. Look, even Tasha was like, "Yes, do it over the sink." Think about over this this stove, man. It gets hot. All right, so the noodles right now, they're al dente. So they're still al dente. Basically means it's just still firm. That's all it means. So anybody that ate this right now be like, "Oh, it's not done." What I did wrong was my pasta water running my mouth. So I'm just going to heat up some more water. Running my mouth. I missed my pasta water.
Didn't it catch in the bowl?
It's under
there.
It's in the bowl underneath the thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's why you put it there.
It's okay, you're doing a lot.
I'm doing a lot. All right.
trying to make sure everybody.
This is the reason why I got an audience. Because they're like, "Larry, what's wrong with you?" The water's right there. Okay, that's good. Oh, God, I'm so glad y'all was here. Pasta water. Everybody's happy. Everybody's like, "You're not gonna mess my meal you guys want to come over, you can as well. But this actually is pretty neat. So, and you only have to do this maybe for like a minute or two. And I'm just toasting. No oil, anything. That's it. Okay. So you'll see a lot of cacio e pepe recipes in which they'll add olive oil, butter, stuff like that. And you can do that, but it's really not recommended.
Just means pepper and cheese.
Pepper and cheese. That's basically it. The cheese will give you enough oil and butter and so forth in it already.
And this is the cheese that you grated, right?
Yes, so this is the cheese right here. And what I'm about to do right now is I'm about to, which I'm so glad I put this at the bottom. And that y'all notice, I probably would have dumped the shit out and y'all be like, Larry, what are you doing? As you see, I'm just putting some of that pasta water in that cheese. Right? Get myself a spoon here. Just kind of, then I'm just going to put that in the noodles. But first thing I'm going to do is make sure that this, oh, that's perfect. That is actually very perfect. Look at that. That is perfect right there. And then once again, the cheese I'm using is Pecorino Romano. This has been in here about an hour, about a minute. Now I'm going to add now, once I've done that, I'll take my noodles. And now I'm going to have it finish cooking in here. And that's all it is to it. This is very easy. I'm going to let this simmer. If you find that your noodles are dry, then you just add more water. Like I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's a little bit more water because I'm kind of eyeballing this right here. Yes. Yeah. At first, and then I'm gonna turn it down. But that's a good question. Sherman asked me, do I want my fire to be that high? At first, yes. And I know the reason why he said that because your noodles will start sticking if you don't have enough water in there. But at first, I really want this to really get inside here. And then I'm going to turn it down to medium. Because eventually, guess what? This is already going from al dente to finish. Only difference between al dente and finish is about a minute or two, right? So now at this point, I can pull this from this flame. I'll let it sit on here. It'll still be cooking a little bit. You see, it's just getting denser. You can see that the pepper going through. Now, the fun part, add the cheese. And at this point, you're just doing this at this point. You're just kind of sauteing it around. Getting the cheese, the pepper, all the way through. This is it. And then, like I said, at the end, when I plate, which I'm about to do in a minute, because I still have some of the clumps of the cheese. I don't want that necessarily, but I'm just letting it cook all the way through. Can you smell it?
It smells great.
Yeah.
And the water's thickening.
And the water's thickening because it's acting, the whole idea with the starchy water is a thickening property. So it's just thickening with the cheese as you just stir it around. And it just takes patience.
Oh, no, not that long.
Not long at all. When you really think about it, I'm running my mouth, but. And then, like I said, I'm gonna put some cheese on there to add, and a pecorino gives it that tang that you want. It gives you that salt. You have the basics. Anything in cooking, anything is always basic salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how much salt you add to it. Does somebody have a question?
No, no questions.
You like, I'm trying to see the plating. All right, so we are ready for the plating now at this point. So you can go have a seat, babe, and I'm going to go ahead and plate. Or you want to see them? I do the let's do one plating. Let's do one plating.
Where's that high?
By this time, the skewers should be pretty much cooled off here. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
See what else is on here? See my grandmother's and my sweethearts.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Pepper.
Right here, get out the bowl.
Oh, get a little pepper on there.
Did you put garlic?
Well, actually, you could put garlic if you like. But yeah, but it's ketchup pepper really doesn't have any garlic salt or garlic powder per se. But you can do it to taste if that's your preference. But this would be the plate right here. Once again, cacio pepe, basil shrimp, and Montreal seasoning asparagus with sweet yellow onions. And cupcake Riesling to finish for the taste.
Okay. All right. So we need somebody to taste and to give us.
That's my ADP right there, baby.
Yeah. So, any questions?
Let's see, folks that's online watching. How we looking? How y'all doing?
We need
Any
a taste
questions?
test. We need a taste test, Larry.
They need a taste test.
Oh, taste it. Okay. Well,
Somebody
Okay.
there has to give us an honest opinion about the food.
who said this? Wait, what is that?
They want an honest opinion.
Okay,
Let them
so
play up
okay,
some more.
okay. Let
We
me.
need an Iota DoorDash.
Okay, well, stay on with me. Stay on with me.
Someone said they need DoorDash.
Oh, you know. All right, hold on. Let me get everybody plated then. Can you give me another big plate over there?
Yes.
Need a DoorDash or Uber Eats for Larry Owens.
You said or Uber Dash? Uber Eats.
Iota Dash.
We expect this level of food at the next DMV cookout, Larry.
Who said that?
I think that was Shaggy. It sounded Shaggy.
Was that Shaggy?
Yeah.
Well, look, I only live in Hanover, man, so you can get that coming down.
Yeah.
Well, the
Like,
problem is that
I'm not that far. I was in B-more. I left B-more.
you, Ted, and Tim have stepped up the game. Now we know y'all can cook. So now we expect this level of food.
Oh my God! All right, hold on. You're gonna get the ultimate taste test right here.
All right. Ruth wants you to deliver to New Jersey.
Oh God! Well, you know what? My cousins came down from Brooklyn, and it was so funny. She had everything, and she was just like, "So you make cacio pepe?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I want some." I was just like, "Okay." So she asked for cacio pepe. She got it. All right, and let's get some asparagus on here. And then we'll have a true taste testing here. I still got actually a couple more skewers to do.
You're here for it.
Yes. Heather, that's your saying, right? I'm here for it.
Yes,
As my neighbor always says that. She says, I'm here for it.
absolutely, here for all the things.
Because I'm always, and look, half the time I'm always making collard greens,
Right.
which I just learned how to make collard greens 2 years ago. Well, this year. Yeah. Never make collard greens. It's crazy.
Always not making a plate for yourself.
Eh?
Shauna says it looks delicious.
Look, hey, where's Shauna at?
She's down in Atlanta.
Okay, because Shauna was talking to me all day today, and she was just like, Larry, she said, you do a lot of damn marinating. I loved it. All right, so let me hold the camera and let you get a taste testing right here of everybody. And we're gonna see whether it's okay or not. And be honest.
You got to zoom in, Larry. We got to see their faces.
Okay. How do I zoom in? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. How do I?
You just gotta walk.
Okay.
Oh, dang. The asparagus is perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good. That's real good.
Very good there.
Yeah.
The spaghetti, man, is so creamy. It's creamy, like the texture of it
Yeah.
and the consistency. You can taste the cheese. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Heather?
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. This pepper is hot.
It's hot. It's a little bit hot.
But it's still good though. I'm not a huge heavy pepper person.
Okay, so it might have been just too much pepper, a little bit too much.
But it's still not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
But you might need a little bit more
because you
cheese.
toasted it.
Yeah, and that might have been it.
Yeah.
It really woke up the flavor. Okay, I can appreciate that. What is everybody else consistency about the pasta?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need more
That's
cheese,
good.
Heather?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
It still tastes good.
This is good.
What about the shrimp? Anybody taste the shrimp?
Oh, everybody tastes the shrimp. Yeah.
I know that
I was waiting for
asparagus
that one too.
is so crisp. It's crisp still. Like,
The asparagus?
yeah.
Okay.
You know, like you were saying earlier, man, we used our vegetables being soggy
Right.
or overcooked or whatever, but no, this is right on point.
This
Okay.
asparagus is perfect.
Okay, cool. That's what I was shooting for.
Shrimp is delicious.
The shrimp is delicious?
Mhm.
Okay, that's my baby saying the shrimp is delicious. Okay.
She's not lying.
She not lying. Okay.
Yeah, again, I'm just amazed by the consistency of like everything's so fresh, man. Like
Mhm.
like foods and other places just been soft and kind of like
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
now looking back at it, maybe it's just been overcooked and we just used to it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with steak. I didn't discover steak medium. I was always doing well done
Mhm.
growing up, especially
Yeah.
Black folks.
Yeah.
You know, we used to, and I didn't realize the value of a medium steak.
Yeah, medium well steak.
Yeah.
On your plate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
good, man.
So
The
everybody
asparagus
is happy.
This is not an expensive meal.
And it's not an expensive meal. My fiance just made that point. And it's very, the asparagus don't really cost you that much. Noodles cost you what, $1 or $2 a box.
Right.
That's it. And the most you might spend is the Romano or pecorino. You don't even have to use pecorino.
And thanks to being invited, it cost me like $2 worth of gas. I'm only 15 minutes
He
away.
is. He literally, man.
Thank you for the invite, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. I couldn't have a better audience. And Heather was a surprise, my lovely neighbor. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. She always eat my food.
Listen.
I call out on the deck. I'm like, Heather, I just made this. So yeah,
I'm here for it.
and we got plenty of leftovers because everybody got to go home with food. That's how we get down. So y'all bros got an open invite on here. All you do is give me a call. And as a matter of fact, Sherman's son comes here.
Yeah.
Sherman's son come here. Like I got two of his kids. I got the oldest, but I feel like I got them all. But I got the oldest and the youngest of his kids. But his son Joshua, he was just like, yo, he was like, what did he say, Alexis?
He was like, are you gonna eat all that? And I'm like, Joshua, what do you want? Just call Uncle Larry. You can go over there and get a plate. And he did. He hopped in the car and was there in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
He came in, he sat down. But look, hold on. He thought he was just gonna leave. I said, oh no. No, you gotta sit down and talk to Uncle Larry. You can't just take my food and leave. So I had him here for like what, 45 minutes to an hour. And he was,
Hey, Larry.
eating guacamole. He don't even like guacamole, but he was eating it.
Larry, we got a question. So if you were gonna pair this with a dessert, what dessert would you pair this with?
Oh, see, I'm not a dessert person. So let me go to my better half. What would you pair this with, Bat? Because we actually have some apple stuff in there right now. And she also makes ice cream. This one right here makes ice cream.
I make homemade ice cream, so I would make some ice cream with this.
Like when I say she makes ice cream, it's ridiculous. The first one, the first one she did was a mint. She did a mint ice cream. And I don't even like ice cream, man. And it took me back.
Wow.
I was sitting there like, wow, like this is actually pretty good. So yeah, and just like, and it's so rich because it's homemade. You only like 3 scoops of some homemade ice cream. So probably that, yeah, absolutely. But Shaggy, it's funny you asked me that because even when we go out, she's like, I know you're not going to eat it. So Sonny from Alpha Mega said, he said grilled peaches with Mariner. You saw that? Grand Marnier. That's my Polaris.
Yeah, Larry, those grilled peaches, they're the bomb on the grill, man.
Yeah, and you know what? It's so funny because Melanie's girlfriend, she's been pumping. She's been like, yo, grilled peaches. We just haven't tried it yet.
She's on the call.
Oh, Tara, you there? Wake up. It's Sunday. She's trying to be incognito. Yeah, tell about the grilled peaches, girl. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I love grilled peaches. They're easy to make. The tip is to add foil to the grill because those little suckers will slide right on through to the coals. But yeah, you can marinate them in Grand Marnier and just sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on them. There you go, no brainer.
You can take me off camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And Larry,
no. You see what
Larry,
Larry,
the peaches go great with ice cream.
Yeah, just put me on there. Look,
You're right.
Everybody's like, Larry, I'm trying to eat. I think they got the point. Oh man,
You could have mushroom or something to this too.
Oh, and so I had a suggestion here. Mushrooms with asparagus. Okay. So the suggestions we have on this, and the thing about the ketchup pepper, this is probably my 3rd time making it. Is that there might be just a little bit too much pepper on there because you're adding pepper afterwards, and I add pepper afterwards. That might be what's messing you up.
Okay.
Right? Is that when to add it to it with the water is already emulsified in it. It's already had the salt in it and everything else like that with the pepperino, but just the added pepper at the end might be a bit too much. But other than that, I think everybody's happy.
If I can get some to go asparagus.
Yeah.
A whole bag.
A whole bag.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all gone now.
Video again.
Yeah. Well, look, I do asparagus all the time, so yeah.
That's my favorite.
That's all I got, gentlemen. I hope anybody got any other questions? And ladies.
Let's see, we're checking to see.
And once again, man, I appreciate the opportunity. As you see, paraphernalia I'm wearing here. This is from Ted Wheat. In terms of everybody know who Ted Wheat is, and then this is from Raven Fresh. All right, so get your paraphernalia from those 2 guys, man. I want to represent them while I was on here, and once again, man, thank DBO, man, for allowing me to be on here with 2 great chefs, Ted Wheat and Tim, man. I see the amazing stuff.
It's 3 great chefs. You made it sound like just 2. You in there too.
Hey man, look, hey, look, as long as my family and friends are happy, man, I'm happy. And I am humbled, to say the least, man, and grateful that everybody could come here and give you a full-fledged, honest taste test. That's what I need. That's the only way I'm gonna improve if they tell me honestly how they really feel about it. So, and I know that Sherman and I know each other for how many years now? 25. So if it's not good, Sherman will be like, yo. That's how it's gonna start off, yo.
1996.
Yeah, 1996, man. Yeah.
And being that he's a chief of the fire department, if anything was to go wrong, he'd be able to help you with safety precautions.
Look, hold on.
See, I asked a question about the plane. Like,
Yeah, look. No, he would have thrown a blanket on my fat ass and thrown me over the rail. I think he'll go out.
Larry, he probably got a fire extinguisher in the car.
He's got a fire extinguisher in the car.
I think everybody should. Why don't you?
Yeah, why don't you, Shaggy?
Why don't you? Doesn't everybody have fire extinguisher in the car?
Oh my God, man.
Now,
man. Hey, I appreciate you guys giving me. I know I took a little bit too long. I apologize.
No. You were good. You were fine. Definitely appreciate the step by step, the visuals.
Yeah.
Everybody who is there in person to provide their comments and feedbacks of what's going on live, and those who are watching, and some who are actually participating along.
Yes.
So that they can just understand the step-by-step process. And if you didn't get the recipes, you could send us, let us know, and put your email in the chat. We'll make sure we send the recipes out to you. When the recording is available, we'll send out the recording. We'll put it on our YouTube. Larry will put it on his YouTube channel as well, so you can go back and rewatch it over and over again, just in case you might miss something.
Absolutely, man. And once again, it's what's Larry cooking now, man? And I got like 4 videos on there already. My son had to help me with it because I didn't understand the concept of YouTube. And he's 11. At some point in time, I guess I don't know anything, but all the parents here are saying, "That's okay, Larry." But yeah, go check that out, man. And it's going to be great to put this video on there as well, because this is how it gets when I cook. It's frantic. I'm always doing between outdoor, indoor, outdoor, indoor, outdoor, indoor.
It's organic.
Yeah, it's organic. Thank you. No, see, that's why I'm about to marry you.
Yeah, I know.
Words just come off. It's like it's organic. Well, you gotta tell me what that means afterwards, but okay.
Now, have you done anything with your son in terms of any cooking yet?
Right. So it's kind of forced right now because Jaden just wants to eat. So I'm like, Jaden, you want to come over here? And he'll come and he'll entertain me. Like he'll almost have me thinking he's really interested. and then he'll like disappear. And I'm like, where did he go? Like, son, it was getting good. And he just like, you're doing too much. You're doing the most. Just, is it done? Or like now he's like up in his bedroom. He's like, yeah, can you text me when breakfast is ready? What? Can I text you? Could you come down and see how I'm doing it? So he doesn't have too much of an interest in it per se, but he does like what I cook. And he's 11. And right now I'm still holding on to the years when he was a child and he didn't eat anything. So, and then when he finally did start eating, it was exciting to me. And I'm still excited. And now he's about 11, 5'5", 150, 155, wearing a size 11, 12 shoe now. So he might need to slow down a little bit. Or he's going to get a job next week. So, because I wear a size 13, he going to almost wear the same shoe I wear by next year. And he's 11. So, yeah. That's my baby boy.
Right. All right. Well, I'm just looking in the chat and everybody's saying thank you, wonderful, great job. Definitely appreciate everybody's comments. Again, if you didn't get the recipes, please send us your email. Put your email in the chat. We'll make sure to send it out to you so that you can do this. Larry, we thank you. This was great, awesome. I wish we had like a 4D technology here so we can actually smell what they smell.
Oh, that would be awesome, man. I've been prepping for this since probably like 1 or 2 o'clock today.
Okay.
And like I said, that's the love you put into it, man. You know what I mean? You get stuff ready. So like I said, man, I'm only in Hanover, Maryland, bro. So I'm serious. Melanie knows. She knows. She's like, your bro's coming over. I'm like, yep. So
Larry, DBO is definitely going to do a visit to you. We will let you know.
All right. Indeed, man. Indeed. Hey, man, I love you. I love you, brothers, man. I want to tell you that from the bottom of my heart, man.
Hey, man, I love you too. For me personally, knowing you and Sherman for my eternity of the brotherhood, you guys have always been welcoming, supportive, and just like extension of family for me. So I always appreciate the opportunity just to work with you guys and break bread and collaborate, and just seeing how we've all grown and life has taken us where it's taken us,
Absolutely.
with relationships, within the fraternity, outside the fraternity and everything. I definitely want to wish you guys, your wives, your significant others, your families, your neighbors, much success. Yes, I don't want to leave the neighbor out. Thank you. All right, we pay attention to everything, okay? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Pay attention to everything. So we definitely look forward to another opportunity. We want to thank everybody for participating with us. We'll cut the recording, but if folks still want to stay on, we'll keep it open for a little bit.
All right. Thank y'all, brothers.